Hey, fifth graders, it is week 6, day 1. We are starting a brand new social studies unit, but it's awesome because you guys have already been studying explorers and exploration and how people who are going to new lands impact other people there. And we're just going to dive deeper into the people who came over from England and landed in what is now the east coast of the United States. And we are going to just investigate a little bit more about what their life was like. We're going to learn about the 13 colonies, how they were formed, who lived there, and what their lives were like. Okay, so you should have in your packet this New England colonies mixed map activity. And the first thing that we want to do is there's a map in your packet, and we want you to label this map here so that you can make sure you know exactly where the different colonies were. The instructions are on the next page, which is right here. And so we want you to label Connecticut, Rhode Island, New Hampshire, Massachusetts, the Atlantic Ocean, and then also more specifically drawing stars where the Providence, Rhode Island is located, where Boston, Massachusetts is located, where Plymouth, Massachusetts is located. All of these are going to be important destinations, important places in our studies as we learn about the colonies. So there's further instructions about what to do and how to label that map correctly. So just follow all those directions and you should be good. Okay, so here's the read aloud of the text that you have that goes along with this after your map activity. Who were the Puritans? The Puritans wanted to purify or make changes to the Church of England. In 1630, 10 years after the Pilgrims, the Puritans left England in search of religious freedom. They were able to start the Massachusetts Bay Colony in the New World and planned for this colony to be a good example of Christian faith. John Winthrop was an early leader of the Massachusetts Bay Colony. He was one of the founders of the colony and was the colony's first governor. In one of his sermons, Winthrop referred to the colony as a city upon a hill. He expected this new colony to be a good example for people still living in England. Puritan leaders were very strict. People who voiced opinions that differed from the Puritan leaders were punished or expelled from the colony. Anne Hutchinson and Roger Williams were two famous examples of people who did not follow the teachings of the Puritans and were expelled from the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Okay, what was it like to be a Puritan? So remember, these folks left England. They came over to what is now the United States, to the New World, and because they were looking for religious freedom. They weren't able to practice their religion freely in England and wanted to come over here to have more freedoms to do that. So that's a big part of who these people were and what they believed in and what they were about. And so that's going to impact their culture and what it was like to live in a community, Puritans. Okay, let's check out this page. What was it like to be a Puritan? Would you have wanted to be a Puritan? Read these Puritan rules to help you decide. First rule: church attendance was required. Puritans who missed church had to pay fines. In some churches, a man with a long pole would walk up and down the aisles. He would use one end of the pole to tickle the beards of men who fell asleep. The other end of the pole held a wooden knob, which would be used to correct children who giggled or did not pay attention to the sermon. Puritan parents wanted their children to be able to read the Bible. Many towns had schools. Therefore, most people who lived in the Massachusetts Bay Colony were able to read and write. Massachusetts Bay Colony was definitely a man's world. Women were not allowed to vote or to serve in leadership positions. Women were never able to make decisions in the church. They were viewed as being less worthy than men. Harsh punishments were given to those who were seen as straying from God's will. Punishments included public whippings, time in the stockade, or even hangings. Puritans did have occasional festivals and celebrations. Children were allowed to play games if they had parental permission. All right, in your assignment, you can use this text to help you complete your assignment today. All right, I'll talk to you later, fifth graders.